What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm over here with another upgrade video on my Surron. You guys know this Surron already. Never mind my little battery. I'm waiting for my shy battery. But we got the seat back. I finally got my graphic. I'm gonna throw that on here real quick. Again, not gonna bore you with this. I have a whole video on how to throw the wrap on, but gotta put this on since I got the new fender. And this time, as the title suggests, we're gonna be looking at the difference between the GritShift light that we all love, OG over here, versus this new light that I just got on Amazon. Forgot how much this was, but it wasn't that expensive. I kind of like the way it looks, and hopefully it works as well or better than the GritShift light, but that's what we're gonna test today. Like I said, I picked it up on Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check this light out. It wasn't that expensive at all. And I also got this Warp 9 on-off switch for the light because it's blue and matches my wrap, matches the bike. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of over this switch right here. Also, this switch has been giving me problems with the wiring. See that when you play with the wiring? I think it was too tight over here and it pulled some wires off, so it's kind of annoying. So we're gonna say goodbye to this. And also this new GritShift light, if I'm not mistaken, can fit on the brake lever over here. So we'll have one less thing on the handlebars, which will be amazing. Now we all know the GritShift light. It's amazing, it's bright. It's called the Blinder for, they were not kidding when they said the Blinder. The only thing I dislike about it is that it kind of shoots everywhere, you know, instead of being kind of very directed. So we'll see if this one is better. We're gonna keep this one. If not, I'll switch back and keep the GritShift light. I don't mind, but that's what we're gonna be doing today. Yeah, I'll throw on the wrap again. Not gonna bore you with that. I'm gonna throw my wrap on real quick on the rear fender before I continue. And also, I'm gonna hit the street and show you guys what the GritShift light looks like when it's dark out. So I'm gonna cut into that right now and let you guys see what that looks like, and we'll be back to install the new light and see what that looks like. All right, guys, so we're out here. Let's go test out this GritShift light. We all know and love this light. One of the first ones on the scene, way better than the stock one. Matter of fact, I already did a shootout between the stock OEM light and the GritShift light. Obviously the GritShift light is much better, much brighter. The only thing I do like about the OEM light is that it's kind of like a car light where it's very linear, where the GritShift light, I mean, look at this, you're lighting up trees like in the moon and stuff. So I mean, all that energy could be directed more down, I feel like, but that's the reason why we're doing this test. I also got this KO app running. The miles per hour doesn't work for some reason. I'm sure that's coming soon in the next update or so, but let's give this a shot. Let me try to find like a dark street so we can compare the two and see what we got. But no GritShift light with light. Obviously the GoPro sucks at night, we all know this, but anyways, let me find a very dark street over here and see what we can find out. All right, so as you can see, just pulling up to the street, see those palm trees all lit up. This is without the light. This is with the light. GritShift light, the Blinder. I know GritShift has like two different lights, I believe. This is the Blinder. Also, guys, I'm back on my Surron. My arm is feeling way better. We'll be going riding very soon here, like off-roading and stuff, but we're testing the light today. So far, I mean, it's great. This is without it. A big difference, obviously, right? Okay, I want to find like an alley. Let's find an alley real quick. Man, this is the most lit up alley I've ever seen in my life. What the hell is going on here? Alright, this next alley coming up is kind of dark, so I guess we'll test it out right here. No light, GritShift light. Huge difference, obviously. Again, no light, GritShift light. I guess that's a good street too. Well, yeah, like I said, the trees, man. It's like lighting up stars and stuff. I feel like I'm blinding pilots and stuff. So again, no light, GritShift light. Huge difference. But we're gonna run on the same streets. I'm gonna go back to the house, switch out the lights, and see what result we get. I'll run through the same street that I have been, so we get an accurate result over here. Man, I miss riding this thing so much. Man, so much fun. All right, let's do a little test like this in front of something. Yeah, it's a pretty wide area. Pretty wide area. But all right, now let's go back. I'm gonna switch out the lights. Also, I got that Warp 9 switch. This switch is giving me problems. You see that when I play with the wiring? Kind of trashy, so I don't want this switch anymore. We're gonna switch it out, throw on the Warp 9 light switch and a new light, and see if we like the new light. If we like it, hell yeah, I'm gonna drop a link for you guys so you can check it out for yourself. If the new light sucks, then we're gonna keep the GritShift light. But let's go back and see what we can find out. By the way, my new seat, oh my god, it's comfortable. Woo-wee! Yeah, finally she's back together. Easy peasy. Put this wrap on. By far the best wrap in the game. Super high quality material. Relief cuts that some of these other brands do not have. So when you apply it, you got to use a heat gun and work it and like go crazy with it. This is literally the best brand out there for wrap. So super stoked they hooked it up with the rear piece. I had to get the battery again because I sold my Shy battery. So I picked up just the battery piece and rear fender, and pretty awesome. Got here pretty quick, and I love it. Finally, we're back together. Now let's check out this light over here. What's up real quick? All right, so this is the new light. See, got that mirror that's a little more blacked out. I kind of like that look. I think it's gonna be kind of dope. We'll just see how this acts, you know what I mean? This might be a better light or a worse light, and this is what we are testing. I'm doing the testing so you guys don't have to, and you can make your own decision whether you want to go with the GritShift light or this. I know there's other lights out there obviously that some people prefer, but most of us are rocking that GritShift light. But this is a cool one that I saw, and I thought I'll give it a shot. Pretty easy to install. Just gonna take off the light over here. You gotta open up the ignition cover with these two bolts right here, and this whole situation will come out. Obviously, I'm gonna disconnect this on-off switch because we got the Warp 9 on-off switch. Take this off, fish it out. I'll replace it, and then we're gonna hit the street. I'll try to run on the same streets that I did on the GritShift light, so we can see the difference, and we'll come to our own conclusion and see whether or not I'll put the GritShift back on or just stick with this new one. So let me put that on real quick, and I'll catch you guys in a second. Just a quick side note, before you do all of this and dealing with the electronics, you definitely want to turn off your breaker. And after you do turn off the breaker, you want to kind of what's the word I'm looking for, discharge the system. So I keep my light on, turn it on, have that going, can flick the switch back and forth. But yeah, at this point we discharged the whole system, and we're safe. So just a heads up, if in case you want to do that, discharge your battery. That's the safest way to go about it. But now that it's discharged, I'm just gonna open this up. Not sure if you guys have this or not, but let's see what this is. 2.5 mil. Just gonna open this up real quick, undo this whole situation. You got to do the cover right here, which is 4 mil. By the way, this kit right here is amazing, high quality, super cheap. It's like 10 bucks. I'll leave a link for this as well, and it comes with the SAE or metric, you know what I mean? And it just fits perfectly on any screwdriver like this, or a drill. Makes your life a lot easier. I'll leave a link for this as well. So let me just open this up, open up the switch, I'll open up the cover, and take out the light. I'll install the new light, and then we're gonna go out riding and see the difference. All right, so I removed my battery cover just to make it easier to remove the ignition plate. This whole situation makes it easier. And also I forgot that I did a little situation here. If you guys can see, I tapped into, there's a wire that goes on the side that runs all the way to the rear light. I connected my rear light to the on-off switch, the original one. I forgot I did that. So when I took it out, I had to cut an extra cable here. Not a big deal. I just don't like having the rear light on when I don't need it. So I got the front and the rear light connected to my switch. I'm just gonna have to redo that again. No biggie, but we got it opened up. Got the GritShift light out, got the old switch out, and now I'll be installing the new switch. And I have to figure out real quick which wire again to control it so I can get my rear light working. Otherwise my rear light won't work right now. Totally forgot that I did this little situation. And yeah, if you don't have this, it's much easier. You just disconnect the plugs, put the plugs back in, and you're good. I'll just have a little bit more work to do, but that's okay. We'll get it done, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Also, this is the new Warp 9 switch. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. And if I'm not mistaken, you can either put it by itself, or you can use the screws over here. See, Magura screws or OEM brake screws. So I'm just gonna be using these that you just remove these screws, and then the light attaches right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I think I'm gonna be doing that. Just wanted to show you guys, this is a sweet plug right here. All right, so a little mini update. Yeah, like I said, I still gotta hook up my rear light to this whole situation, but so far I don't think I like this light. I'll show you why. Turn on. By the way, we got that Warp 9 now. Beautiful switch with the titanium bolts mounted to the brake line. I just hope these cables aren't too smushed, but that's nicer. One less thing on my handlebar. But check out this light. I don't know if I like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, first of all, what's up, what's down? I'm assuming this is down, like that. Yeah, I like how it's linear like that, but big difference so far between the GritShift light and this. I'm still gonna throw it on just for test sake, but not sure I dig this. I'm gonna throw it on and go for a little ride and show you guys how it acts on the street. Maybe it's different. I do like the linear situation, but I think like it's too small, you know what I mean? Could have been a little wider. Again, this is a lit up room, so, but yeah, we're still gonna hit the street and see how we like it on the street. But so far, I'm 50-50 on this. Again, I'll still install it. We'll hit the street and see our final results and our final thoughts about the situation. Whew! All right, finally got that light on. Honestly, it took so long to refigure out this whole shenanigans I got going on over here. The reason it's like that is because on my prior on-off switch, they wired it differently, the way it's wired, and then there's this one extra blue cable here, which made life a little easier. The way the Warp 9 plug is wired is different, so I had to literally redo everything, and I almost blew a fuse in my brain trying to figure this whole thing out, but we finally got it going. Don't recommend doing this. Don't try this at home, but for me, I need the switch to turn the light on, and also it turns on and off my rear light. You know what I mean? So that on-off switch controls both. I don't like having that rear light turn on when I turn on my bike. I know it's not that much battery, but it is battery, so I'd rather not use it. I only use it when I need it. So don't even try to ask me how to do this. thought about making a video about it, but you pretty much have to, the cable that goes through the rear light runs through the side of the body right here, and you have to splice it open and do some shenanigans, but to get it to work. Whoever does electrical might know how to do this. If you don't, I'm sorry, it's a little too much to explain. But right now we got the switch turned on and the light is off and the rear light is off. And when I turn my new Warp 9 switch on, we got the light and we got the rear light. So honestly, like I said, I'm 50-50 about this headlight. We're still gonna hit the street and see what it looks like, but I'm just gonna close my cover. I'm not gonna put the battery cover on because there's a good chance I may end up putting the GritShift light back on. But anyways, let me just close this up real quick. We'll hit the street and see what it looks like. So let's try hitting the same streets we hit before. I mean, already there's a huge difference, obviously. This light is kind of like that linear that we saw, but definitely not as bright as the GritShift light. But we'll give it a shot and see what we find. I mean, yeah, definitely not as bright. It's got that swooping down type, and then it's very linear. It's not lighting up the trees like the GritShift light did. Again, no light, light. It's nice, it's bluish, it's lighting up the area, but not as much as the GritShift, that's for sure. And I mean, you can see it when I'm turning, how linear it is. Yeah, I mean, huge difference. Look at this, no light, light, but nowhere near what the GritShift light is. I mean, it lights it up, like I said, got that bluish tint, but it's just like not as strong. You know what I mean? Not as strong. I know the GoPro sucks at night, guys, but let's go back to that one wall. So you see what I mean? When you're up close, it's bright. It's got that line. It's almost like the stock light, honestly. It's very similar to the stock light, where it's got that linear, kind of like a car, so you're not blinding everybody else. But honestly, if I was in the woods, I'd rather have the GritShift light for sure. So at least I'm very glad we did this test. That's the whole reason of this test. To make sure you guys know the difference and you don't have to spend your money for no reason. I still like this light. What I'm gonna end up doing is probably I'll throw this light onto my RSF 650, because my RSF 650 has got kind of like a boo-boo light right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the GritShift light back onto the Surron. I mean, at this point, it's obvious the GritShift Blinder light has won this shootout by a lot. And we'll call it a day. Alright, guys. So, as you can see, I'm super glad we did this little experiment. This light, it's okay. It's cool. Probably better than the stock one. Very similar to the stock one, but definitely not as good as the GritShift light, which means I'm gonna be throwing this back on. But at least we got that Warp 9 installed, that Warp 9 on-off switch, and I refigured out my on-off for the rear light. So definitely gonna be throwing this on, even though it is kind of blinding and shooting light super high in the sky. I still rather have this when I go off-roading and be a little safer than having this guy over here. It's a cool light, like I said, but I think this is the winner for sure. So we're gonna throw this back on. Like I said, I'm super happy I did this test so you guys don't have to wonder and see it, because I'm sure some of you guys have seen this. Hopefully this helps some people. GritShift light is the winner for sure. This guy's cool. I'm gonna throw it on my RSF because the light I have on my RSF now is kind of boo-boo, like I said. So I'm still gonna use this. I'm not gonna return it, but it's just gonna go on the RSF. It's not Surron worthy yet. And until we get a better light, GritShift light it is. Again, thank you guys for watching this. If you watched till the end, I appreciate you. You're a soldier. Thank you. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We have a lot more shootouts, reviews, do-it-yourselves, exploring, and all kinds of other stuff. Leave a like, drop a comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!